Hello and welcome to I Am Prime Minister, the podcast that gives celebs and influencers the keys to number 10 and a chance to run the country. This week, we're live on location from our big house in the country. Welcome to Chequers.
Oh, it's very nice.
Well, it's yours now, you're Prime Minister. Congratulations. Now, Alex Jones, thank you so much. Congratulations on your shock victory in the election last night. I'm here to help you with your new political advisor, Lorin Bell Cross.
Hello, new political advisor.
Very welcome.
I'm very excited.
How does
Let's
it
get
feel?
going.
I feel important.
Have you ever thought about doing anything political in your life?
No, absolutely not.
No. So
although I'd love to give it a go because I think, there's things that are overlooked that are really key and they just, don't get a look in.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're going to go through all of that.
Okay,
to start
great.
with, though, we need to name your party. And this is a name that represents everything that's you in this party.
Okay, all right. I mean, kind of the fun bus.
The Fun Bus?
Yeah.
Okay, why the Fun Bus?
Because, I like travelling around the country, so you need a mode of transport that's big enough to house all the kids.
Yeah.
Plus friends, plus family.
So you're not spending much time in Downing Street then?
No.
Okay, the
no.
Fun Bus party.
It's too expensive, central London. It costs you an arm and a leg to drive in there.
Yeah, especially with a bus.
I'll just do it remotely.
Okay, fine, the Fun Bus party. I like that. A remote Prime Minister. You can get in with the people.
Exactly.
Not being inside the Westminster bubble, out there with the people every day. It's perfect. It's what we need.
To be honest, I think the front door of Downing Street looks really uninviting and boring. I would turn that into like a mustardy yellow with some nice door furniture.
Bit of Farrow and Ball.
They're on telly every day and they don't put any thought into it. It's just black. Yeah.
So that's already, we're redoing Downing Street's front.
100%.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Like, you could, because I'm surprised they don't ever change it, but it's so iconic,
Stick
isn't
a
it?
Christmas tree outside and that's about it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Laurie, what about the rest of the year?
Exactly.
I mean, where's the window boxes?
Yeah.
Where's the, nice, I don't know, they could have some bay trees outside.
Yeah, I agree.
Put some fairy lights on them.
An allotment, maybe?
Exactly.
I'm loving this. Already we're thinking about sustainability in Downing Street. Great. We're going to start off by setting up a brand new department for you. So you've got your classics that are all part of politics, but this is something that you really want in life, like something you think is missing in government that needs to be looked at. We've had all sorts of different departments. We've had the Department of Rylan Clark, as suggested by Shappy Corsandi, because she loves Rylan.
And what happens in the Department of Rylan Clark?
Everyone just basically, Rylan's the propaganda machine of her government. So things like that,
idea.
just something that you love, that you think the country needs more of, something you think is overlooked, that kind of department.
But
we
also
need.
ruthless efficiency in delivering clear and to the point messages without any waffle.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
See, I think we need more coffee shops.
Okay, fine.
That's what I think we need. The Department of Coffee.
A coffee department, okay.
Yeah.
And are we talking like, what kind of coffee shops are we talking here? Independent or are the chains fine? What are you into?
I'm not into a chain.
Has
No?
to be independent ones.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not into a chain. I've tried because sometimes there's desperation, isn't there?
Yeah.
And there is only a Starbucks or a Costa.
Are you a big coffee snob?
No.
Well, I mean...
But I like the environment. It's not about the actual coffee. I'll drink anything apart from Nescafe. No offence to them. But I don't like granules. But I'll drink any coffee, but it's the environment in which you're drinking it, which is important.
So basically, we're going to regulate coffee shops?
Yeah.
Interesting. So what's your vibe in a coffee shop that you're after then?
Not too big.
Yeah.
I don't mind animals. I don't mind dogs, cats. I mean, there's a lady next door to us that's got a cat on a lead. She takes her cat to the coffee shop. I'm fine with that.
I take my cat out on a lead.
You're one of them, are you?
Yeah, well, he only goes in the garden. We don't take him out like on the streets, but he goes outside. on
Right.
a lead.
Well, see, we had a lead for our cat, but the cat wouldn't put the harness on.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah.
great. It's very cute, but
I've done the same. It is
Have
very,
you put your
very,
cat on?
on a harness, yeah.
I mean, but it's one of those things going, is that guy got a cat on a lead? Like,
Yeah.
people look really weird about it.
Well, we got our tortoise on a lead.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to run away, though, is it?
But anyway, so cats, dogs, I don't mind
Have
in
you
a
ever been to
coffee
a cat
shop.
cafe?
Yeah, we have. There's
Yeah, I like
one.
a cat
There's
cafe.
one in London, in central London.
Yeah.
Great Portland Street.
I love a cat cafe.
We go in often.
Yeah? Really? Do you have
Yeah.
cats then?
No, but I
Oh.
like cats. I used to have a cat.
But so for your kids as well, going, look, you don't want a cat all the time, but you have an afternoon with some
Oh, no, I
cats.
don't take them. No. No, I
just
don't
go-
take them. And this is where this is coming from, this whole coffee shop scenario. So earlier on today, I was in a coffee shop
Yeah.
with 3 children.
Yeah.
They are 2, 4 and 6, okay? And they're loud. and they like standing on the chair. I mean, they're out of control, let's face it, okay? And there was a man next to us reading the Saturday papers, and he'd obviously gone in to, relax, read the papers, have a coffee, quiet coffee. And it didn't pan out as he thought it was going to pan out, because next thing he had these 3 kids next to him. But he was super grumpy. He was like, ugh, and kept like moving over a bit. And then Ted went under the table and popped up between his legs, which wasn't ideal, right? But he got really huffy.
Yeah, I get really annoyed when people get huffy about children in public places.
Right.
It's such an English thing as well. It's like being grumpy at children.
You don't have any more of a right to the coffee shop than anyone else.
Exactly. And I can see that they'd ruined his morning, right? And I felt for him. But I think we need to put a sign up. Children welcome, children not welcome.
So there's two types.
And everybody knows where they stand. You can put the animals and the children in one sort of coffee shop, and the grumpy old man reading a paper can go into another one.
Look, I think this sort of like childhood apartheid is a great idea for pubs as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you go into a pub and you think, go to one with a soft play. They're not meant to be in here.
Yeah.
I think any pub that's like more than £5 a pint, children shouldn't be welcome automatically.
See, in Cardiff, just outside Cardiff actually, there is a pub with a soft play. And it's an extensive soft play.
Is it
it's
big?
a good one, right?
Yeah.
But the food is awful. It's awful.
You never get a posh pub with a good soft play, do you?
See, so now we need to merge these ideas. Nice pub, nice soft play. Let's bring them together.
Look, we can add pubs to your department as well. It can be the pub and coffee shop department.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Department of fun.
It's a lot of fun in your
Department
premiership.
of Hospitality vibes, I think.
Hospitality, yes,
Specify
Laurie.
that and create the atmosphere we want for the country.
Because you want everybody to have a nice time when they go for a pint or a coffee.
Yeah, and
But I think everybody needs to know, we need to map it out. Everybody needs to know what they're going to face within that establishment if they enter through the door.
I totally agree. Yeah, because there's a childless person. You go in and sometimes you don't want kids running around. But other times it doesn't bother me at all.
As a parent, sometimes I don't want the kids in there. I mean, most of the time.
Leave them in the car, crack a window.
Yeah. See, in the 80s, that was all right as well.
It was.
Now, frowned upon.
You used to be able to put kids on leads. No one does that anymore, do they?
And if you're if you're a public figure, is that what they call people these days? Definitely can't. People get really arsy with you.
Yeah, you've got to really think about that if you're you, haven't
It's
you?
really annoying, Laurie, because I would be happily leave them in the car with the window down. But
it's a Daily Mail article waiting to happen, isn't it?
Also, the previous Prime Minister, David Cameron, left his kid in a pub. So, we want to avoid that. Yeah, he was meeting with President Xi of China and left his kids in the pub. Had to dash back.
I sort of like him more now, though.
Well, with people?
Yeah.
The kid just told them,
left there.
Just sit here. Look at the povos.
No, I think they must have forgotten their children, which is even worse.
They forgot their kids.
So had he had a few drinks?
One would assume so, but then that's even more worrying if you're meeting the president of China having had a few drinks. God knows what you're telling him at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
it's true.
I didn't know he'd left his children in a pub.
Neither did I, but it makes him a little bit more.
Yeah,
normal.
I like that actually.
I like it.
Have you ever done that before?
8-year-old daughter behind in the pub for about 15 minutes, apparently.
Really?
Surely every parent's had that thing where you get everything ready to go out, you get in the car and you go, I've not put the kids in the car yet and I've left them in the house.
I mean, all the time.
Really?
Yeah, 1 time out of 3.
I wasn't thankfully it wasn't with the president of China though, so that's, he just left them in the pub without the president of China. So that's
fine.
more reassuring.
That would be weirder if he'd left Xi and the 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And you think, why is our relationship with China so frosty now? Well, she wants toys to be cheaper, so she had a word, didn't she? Okay, well, look, I think this is a really good place to start. So the Department of Hospitality vibes. So we're going to cover pubs, and there's going to be more soft play and gastro pubs.
Yes.
Very good. And there's going to be a sort of child separation in coffee shops and pubs. What's allowed, what isn't allowed. And we're going to ban granuled coffee.
I mean, surely everybody's on board with that.
I think so, yeah.
It's like drinking a puddle. Nobody wants it.
What a lovely word in a Welsh accent as well, puddle.
For coffee drinkers. It's not the real thing and it's not going to get you off it and you're not enjoying it.
I think you're right. And I mean, coffee snobs really get on my nerves as well, the other end of the spectrum, you see. Because
you're on the middle ground a lot here,
Because to be honest, coffee's coffee to a point when it's not granulated.
Yeah.
But, any other coffee's fine. Get a grip, get it down you.
We shan't be using that as a slogan, but
get a grip and get it down.
That would be. I think that's a great thing to campaign on. Get a grip and get it down you.
Yeah.
About policy, about anything. We need a bit more gumption in our lives. I think everyone's a bit too precious about things. Get a grip would be a great thing to run.
Get a grip, get it down you. To be honest, I went to Chequers. Right, this sounds like a proper name drop thing to say.
Amazing.
It was only because they had to invite me.
They had to invite you.
Because, so everybody one year who had done something for Comic Relief was invited, and happened to be I had done one of these mad sort of sport challenges.
Yeah.
And so we all get invited, and Davina's there and David Williams is there, and the coffee they served was below par.
Was it definitely granulated?
Well, it came out of a posh silver jug thing, right? And I think, they think they can hide a lot of sins by pouring it out of a posh vessel. But ultimately, it didn't taste very nice. So, there you are.
What was Chequers like?
Oh my gosh, we were late. Oh, embarrassing, right? Who's late to Chequers? Well, me, because we're late everywhere. So I think I did the one show that night. It was a Friday night, and then we went to Oxfordshire, where Chequers is, and we knocked on the door, and David Cameron opened the door, and we're like, oh, hiya, sorry, Prime Minister, we're a bit late. And he went, oh, right, all right, well, come in then. And he didn't ask who we were or anything. I was just like, oh,
You could have been anybody.
Anybody.
Was there a security check on the way up to the
No.
door? What, so you go in, did you have dinner there?
Yes, we had dinner.
Was it nice?
Yeah, so he led us into this kind of dining room, and the food was really nice, but we'd missed the starters. Gutted. I think they had prawn cocktail, which is my favourite. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we did the main meal. There were some speeches, boring. So we go upstairs, and that's where you have your kind of whiskies and whatever, right? And I think I had something random like a Cointreau, which over ice is quite nice, right? But that was the first.
Was this in the 80s? Prawn cocktail and Cointreau?
No.
How long have you been on the One Show?
So long, Matt, so long. So you go upstairs, you have these drinks and stuff, and then, there's all little lamps, and it's very stylish, little lamps around, and little candles and all the rest of it. And then at 11 o'clock precisely, they turned on the big lights. Right?
Really?
They turned on the big lights. And then David Cameron stands up and he just goes, okay, well, that was a lovely evening. And thank you so much, everybody, for coming.
Oh, lovely.
As in, get out. So.
I love that.
I rate that, yeah.
Emma Freud was there.
Yeah.
Who is hilarious. She is Richard Kirsty's partner. Well, I think actually they got married the other day. But anyway, she was there and she went, should we just hide in the toilet and see what happens? So I was like, all right then. She was like, I wonder if everybody will just leave and we'll just be left here.
Okay, so that's Emma Freud for the head of MI6 then,
Yeah,
clearly.
she's amazing.
Yeah, lovely.
I mean, she should just be in government anyway, because she's a laugh and lovely and yeah.
Well, I mean, what an amazing thing. I'd love that. If you're Prime Minister, you can go, can you all just go?
Yeah, can you all just go?
Great.
So we thought,
How many times have you wanted to do that at your own house? Just lovely night.
So many times.
There we go. Thanks very much, guys. Off we go. Like that would be
10 p.m.
Waking up at a Saturday morning. Right, thank you very much, guys. See you later.
And it was quite good because he was still really polite about it. But he just went, well, that was a lovely night. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Goodbye.
Maybe that's something to add to the hospitality vibes.
Yeah.
Hard 11 p.m. cut off at every house party.
100%.
Yeah, okay,
I think
fine.
coats on 10:30 because by the time you get them out, it's 11.
Yeah. Out the door at 11 p.m. at any house gathering.
Dinner party, not house party.
Dinner party,
Let's specify,
okay,
because
fine.
then house parties will just be crap.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, okay, lovely. Well, look, that's a lot to get on with there in our first department. Let's move on to some more of the classic departments.
Okay.
I'm going to start with culture, media and sport. Now,
gosh.
you said, look, you're in culture, you're in media, and you've done some sport challenges, you said. What did you do for Comic Relief?
I climbed a sheer rock face in Utah in America called Moonlight Buttress. You couldn't make it up, could you? Moonlight Buttress. And it took 3 days.
Did you camp on the wall?
Yes, we had to camp on the wall.
Wow.
So we were camping just on literally a stretcher, basically.
Oh, my goodness.
And they'd sent me up there with a guy called Andy, who is a very, very good climber. But he looks like Alan Carr, right? So I couldn't take him seriously. I thought, you've sent me up here with somebody...
Did he have the same mannerisms as Alan Carr?
Completely. And he looked like he'd never climbed the stairs, let alone a big rock face, right?
But, I'm interested in your, obviously, you've been in television a long time, so media's covered, but your sport life, were you sporty as a child?
No, I was one of these people. I mean, I did it because I was like people pleaser, still am. And I just, I would do it in school, but no.
No.
I didn't like it. I didn't like outside. I didn't like being cold. I still don't.
Not ideal growing up in Wales when it is outside.
No.
Outside's a lot of the life,
But I
isn't
used
it?
to play netball, I think I was like wing attack.
So sports is something we're not prioritising then. That's absolutely
well,
fine.
I mean, and the thing is now, because I've got 2 boys and a husband who's obsessed with rugby, the boys are obsessed with football, like the noise. So I think...
Okay, here we go.
When sport is on the television, Gabby Logan's going to kill me, and she's a good friend. But she knows I feel like this. The noise of everybody cheering and clapping and stadium noise really bugs me.
So look, so maybe that going to watch the football should be more like going to the theatre.
Yeah.
That you all sit there quietly and you watch it and you clap at the end of the first half.
The only big event I've gone to see sport-wise is the Miami Dolphins, right? And I think they were playing American football. No, definitely they were. They definitely were, right? And I went with an ex-boyfriend and we were in Miami, right? And he was like, "Oh, I'd love to go and see them." I was like, "All right then, well, I'll come, fine." And they didn't even sell wine.
Really?
No. So when you go and get a drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, can I have Sauvignon Blanc?" And they were like,
No.
What's that?
Nothing.
"What? No, we've got beer." I was like,
That was it, just beer?
Yeah. Had they have had wine, I would have had 3 or 4 and had a lovely time.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So look, I think this is great for sport because I'm not a sporty. Are you into football?
Yeah, so in fact, relating to wine at the Emirates, one of the disturbances years gone back, one of the worst disturbances, and this is a very Arsenal Islington disturbance of a fan had smuggled in some red wine in a cup and thrown it at a steward.
Wine bottle?
No, not bottle. In the contents
they threw a glass of red wine?
Yeah, but in a plastic cup.
no.
It's like, that's the most Islington offence you could bloody get.
What was it? Was it nice? Deep Malbec?
No, it's a Chianti actually.
Oh, lovely.
Good stuff.
Well, I'm not a sports person. I'm not into sport in any way whatsoever.
Right.
My dad is football obsessed. My brother is. My dad was a footballer. My dad was a professional footballer in his youth. Played for Cardiff.
Did he?
Yeah. And I'm like the ultimate disappointment. And about once every year I go to football with them. And it's a lot, isn't it?
It is. But if they had better snacks and better drinks, I feel like I'd be more on board.
I agree. The worst thing I ever went to was I went to see Aberdeen play on a stag do in Aberdeen. I went to a stag do in Aberdeen. And they don't serve booze in Scottish football stadiums.
Why?
Because they ruined it for themselves.
Oh, because they didn't know when to stop.
Yeah, exactly
Right.
that. But I like this. It's too noisy. The booze isn't good enough. And I think it is more enjoyable when you've had a bit to drink, but not too much. So I propose this. I think we turn stadiums, it's theatre rules.
Yeah.
You clap whenever there's a goal, or like the tennis.
Lovely.
Or you clap at the end when they finish, right?
Lovely.
And everyone sits down, and that's nice. And we're going to breathalyse everyone on the way in.
And
they
they
have
bring
to be
snacks halfway through to you.
Absolutely. You can have an ice cream.
Like, an usher or an usherette.
Perfect.
Turns up.
And I think as well, look, we don't want people getting too drunk. So
No.
everyone's breathalyzed on
not
the
a
way
good
in.
look.
You have to have had between 2 and 4 glasses of wine. Any more, you're not coming in. Any less, you're not coming in.
Fine.
And I think that will make sport enjoyable.
Great.
That'll work, yeah.
And maybe, and they do
No,
it
go on.
sometimes, don't they, at half time, like just really good acts. So if you don't like the sport, there's something for everyone.
I remember years ago going to see the USA versus England play rugby, and Martine McCutcheon was in the middle, and she was great.
I love Martin McCutcheon, cinch love, actually.
Highlight of the day for me.
That was the highlight of her life.
And when we
though,
left,
wasn't it?
when we left, and my dad went, "What was your favourite bit?" And I went, "Martine McCutcheon." I think he's surprised I've got a girlfriend now. But we're all shocked. Don't worry, especially her. Sometimes I'm not going to lie. So yeah, 2 to 4 glasses of wine. I think, okay, that's great. I love this, and a really good act in the middle. What kind of thing do you want? Variety, singers?
Yeah, like Beyonce,
But I mean, Beyonce's not going to be doing like Burnley Leeds, is she?
Why shouldn't she? I think that'd be great. Get Beyonce to... Could she do it in a cold, wet night in Stoke? That's what we need to find out.
Could she do it in a cold, wet night in Stoke? That's how I live my life. That's how you rate people.
And
or maybe
some people would say she's past her peak, so...
Yeah, absolutely. Look,
Let's not be fussy.
maybe it's sort of like regional, like in the north, you have like Bernard Manning does a turn in the middle. You can have Rod Gilbert when
Is he
Wales
not
play.
dead?
Yeah, he's long dead, but
Fine.
it's
The
fine.
spirit of Bernard Manning.
Yeah, the spirit of Bernard Manning. Rod can do the Wales
Rod.
games. Fantastic.
Stewart. He's
Gilbert.
Scottish. Oh, Gilbert. I love Rod Gilbert, yes.
It could have all different things. You're like, what's it going to be this week? A fire eater or a comedian?
Yeah. Fine.
It's a little surprise in the middle.
Okay,
Ooh, yeah, I
great.
like that a lot. Okay, we'll move on to your next department. We are going to go for food and rural affairs. Now,
Well, so much to say.
You're not a rural person. You grew up in Swansea.
I did, but I do like a bit of countryside.
Really? You're a big countryside person.
I'll tell you, I don't know whether this fits in, but people
Doesn't matter,
who
tell
don't
us.
pick up their dog poo really annoy me.
Okay, yeah, do you have dogs?
No. Mm-hmm. But if I did, I would.
Yeah, of course you would.
Because that is the rules, and that is how we can, live together in the same society.
Well, it's worse when they pick it up and then leave it on a twig. I was like, well, how's that going to help
really
anybody?
annoying.
Do you know what I mean? And I know it's a bit of a grim job. If it's your own,
And you don't let them shit in public.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, they have, to be honest.
Have they? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Kids are feral, aren't they?
Well, and there's been times, there was no other option. Get the wipes out. But, I deal with them. And I think everybody with a dog or child, whatever, should deal with their own.
What's your cat poo opinion about people's cats pooing in other people's
gardens?
gardens?
Can't it?
Well, I mean, if you eat it, yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Cat poo. Well, I think they bury it, don't they?
They
so
do a
kind
bit, but they're not amazing, are they, Alice?
No.
It depends on the cat. But so look, I think that's a really good thing, dog poo being picked up. You know what my problem is?
What?
Why are we letting horses poo everywhere and they don't have to pick it up? So, you see someone on a horse ride and their horse does a massive dump on the side of the road and they're allowed to leave it.
You've got a point.
And it's bigger than a dog's. It's bigger than mine.
So I used to live right next door to Millwall Stadium, and obviously for obvious reasons there'd be heavy police mounted presence there. And they would just leave all this sort of horse poo in the middle of the street, and
They just shit everywhere.
Yeah.
If someone walking their dog did that, they'd rightly get fined. But why not the police?
What we're saying there is there is a net worth where it's acceptable to let your animals shit in the garden in other people's places.
If you're posh.
If you're posh, basically.
Yeah.
That's like, what school did you go to? Let your horse poo, you're fine.
I suppose, though, you'd have to then carry a spade with you. Because one hand in a bag isn't going to do it, is it?
Well, you could do I guess you'd have to have a bin bag, wouldn't you, to pick
You'd
up.
have to have a bin bag and you'd have to do a collect.
Look, I'm sure,
I don't know.
I was worried that we'd get you onto politics, but I'm not sure the BBC would love you miming picking up a horse shit. Maybe it could be a segment on the One Show.
It could be.
Yeah, we could do it.
It could be.
On a slow week.
I'll pitch it.
There has actually been a show called Britain's Dog Poo Scandal.
Really?
I'm told, yeah.
There you are.
Channel 5.
Well, you've got to think, look, this government the government before yours were very keen on banning dogs, but then the poo is more of a problem, I think, for more people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with
having
this.
recently stepped in somebody's dog poo and then walked it through a house we were filming in that had brand new carpet. Oh, it was awkward.
Were the owners in?
They were.
Were they really upset?
It was the smell it was. When everybody's starting to... You can see everybody... Nobody's saying anything, but everybody's going... That's smell here.
But you know what? You must have had this. I have previously interviewed celebrities that have smelled. So do you think...
Have you?
Yeah, there's been a few over the
Who's
years.
the worst smeller?
Well, it's sort of really the people that are big partiers when they've come from being out.
Oh, fine.
I've had that a few times, like a rock star who was definitely still on the night out the night before and kept nipping off every 3 minutes in the interview to the loo. I don't know why. And he smelled awful. But maybe they were just like, oh my God, Alex Jones smells. That's going to be in Pop Bitch now before you know it.
I know. And it was, I did feel awful. There was these cream carpets
Oh,
and they were
no.
smeared.
You know what though? That's their fault for having cream carpet. I'm sorry. That you're asking for trouble.
But I do like a cream carpet, but I did rethink that strategy as well after that incident.
My mum and dad got rid of their cream carpets in their house when I first took my girlfriend Sam home. She won't be happy about this story. The first night I ever took her home, we went to the pub to meet some of my friends in my hometown, and she came back and we'd been for a curry as well, and she came in and she went after the night out all over the cream carpet in the spare room.
Had she had a chicken tikka masala?
It was so red and so a lot. Voluminous, I suppose. It just went everywhere. And then my mum and I, 3 o'clock in the morning, my dad would have gone absolutely loopy. So we're going, just scrub it quietly, getting it all out the carpet. But she's still doing more. And then 3 weeks later, they got rid of all the carpets and got some normal colour. If she's going to be a regular feature, we can't have this anymore.
I tell you what, though, always buy cheap carpet. That's my tip to you in life. 80% wool, no thank you. All the stuff goes ingrained, very deep. Deep. It was the biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah.
Buy acrylic. You can scrub it with bleach. You can. There you go. I would change all the carpets in number 10 straight away. No messing. And Chequers. No messing.
Absolutely great. Okay, well look, this is really good. I'm liking this. So all of the stadiums are going to be theatre rules.
Yeah, theatre rules.
2 to 4 glasses of wine. You're going to be checked on the way in, and we are going to ban dog poo being left around. What's the punishment going to be if you are caught leaving dog poo? A fine? A fine's not enough, is it?
Rub their face in it.
Rub their face. You get your face rubbed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's sort of varieties around the world. I think in countries like Singapore, it's $1,000 fine.
Is it?
Yeah. I think there's sort of varieties of that. So we can do an active punishment rather than the fixed penalty notice or whatever. It needs to be a proper deterrent, I'm hearing.
Is that what they do to dogs, actually, though,
they rub their noses in it when they poo to stop them doing it. So I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, same for the owners.
Lovely. Right, we're going to move on now to... Right, we're going to move. So that's rural affairs done. No horse poo as well. Yeah. Tick. But dog poo banned. And finally, we're going to move on to the Foreign Office. Now, this is an interesting department because do you see yourself as a foreigner in England, or do you very much see yourself as part of it? Because Wales is a funny one. They're not as angry as Scotland, are they, about it all? It feels much more ingrained.
Yeah,
How do you feel you sit? Do you feel like you're a fish out of water sometimes?
I did when I first arrived in London. Yeah, but I think that's kind of maybe not so much England, maybe it's London. Because, I mean, where I was from in Cardiff, I was living in Cardiff at the time when I moved to London. And, to go out of an evening, you dress up. And when I say dress up, you wouldn't put much on, definitely no coat, and, heels. You'd really
you'd go for it.
Got to London, everybody's in a jeans and a jumper. I couldn't get on board with that for a long time.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because, I mean, look, I have a northern partner.
The posher the place, the less you dress up to go out.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when you go to somewhere like when you're in Mayfair and a woman's really dressed up, you go, oh, she's working. Oh. Like that's the
busy.
Yeah, exactly. She's working this evening. It's weird, isn't it? Like, because I found the same. Like, people come to London. Look, I've got some friends from Liverpool, and they come down and they dress up to the nines, and you go, it's a bit weird.
It is. I mean, I like it because I don't actually. I think your life changes, and then suddenly you don't. I don't go out at all anymore.
3 kids under 6.
Exactly, but I used to like a little dress up to go out. Came to London, nobody was dressed up.
And now, because obviously with the kids, but foreign affairs, big one, right? Obviously, it's a big office of state. What do you think about is there anywhere you love going? Do you want to go and do some of these trips as Prime Minister?
Oh well. I think the Maldives needs looking at, doesn't it? There's lots of business to be done there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Look, I think we need to be on those as well.
Japan when the blossom's out.
Yeah.
That could coincide with dealing with some very important issues.
An important G7 country. We need strong relations.
I think we need a big, strong presence in the Caribbean in December. So that's when we can go there.
Exactly.
But
just what? Having said all this, I think I've become super boring.
Really?
I quite like just staying home.
Do you not like going on holiday anymore?
I like holidaying in the UK. There you are.
Do you
I've
really?
said it. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I do, because airports, about 3 years ago-ish, became really dull, didn't they? Like, you can't go through an airport quickly anymore.
No.
There's all this fuss.
I fly quite a lot for work. I don't, not just. Well, I mean, I fly for fun because I love planes. I'm a plane geek.
Are you?
Yeah, I love a plane.
Oh gosh.
It's pretty sad. But people have forgotten how to. Everyone gets to security now in front of you, and it's like they've never been. It's like they've never had hands before, let alone never been through an airport. Like, they forget what they need to do. Oh, it drives me insane. Yeah, I hate airports now.
That's the thing. When you get to the tray bit, everybody knows what to do. Pull your belt off. If you're wearing trainers,
and it's going to come. So why are you then why am I going to have to wait 10 minutes just to someone takes the belt off, puts all the stuff there, have it ready.
And then somebody goes to the scan and they're like, oh sorry, I've got some coins.
Yeah,
have you
really
not
annoying.
Been abroad before?
Yeah, it's really...
I can't deal with those people.
So the UK, where do you like going in the UK?
Mainly to Pembrokeshire.
Yeah?
Like a bit of Cornwall.
Okay.
Anywhere, really.
And do you think this is something that the your public now need to need to be more interested in. Should we ban all foreign holidays? Because that would be good for the UK economy as well.
Well, it'd be good for the environment.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is an interesting thing because I just started going away in the UK a bit more and I really like it.
I like it as well. I think you should be probably allowed to go to France, which is like you can get there in a car, so that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe places that are really close.
If you can't take your car, you can't go.
Exactly.
Or if you can't get there by train as well.
You can't get there by
balance it
train.
out that way.
Oh,
train,
that's a good
even
idea,
better.
yeah.
Lovely. Look, I think the UK's underloved when it comes to holidays.
Undervalued. And if anybody once more says, but you can't rely on the weather, shut up. I mean, when you sit in really hot places, that gets boring as well after a while.
I go mad on a hot holiday.
So
I can't do it.
It's nice for a bit.
Yeah.
But if you're in 40 degrees, it's stressful.
Awful.
You've got to put cream on all the time. You've got to wear a hat you don't like.
Yeah.
You've got to put cream on your kids. That's annoying as well.
That's probably what's put you off, isn't it?
It is.
It's
It's put
creaming
me
up
off.
other people.
Yeah.
That's why you could never go like skiing or something because it's not about you putting your gear on. Getting kids sorted must be awful.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like putting sun cream on a cat. It's that impossible.
I've got a friend who has to put sun cream on their cat because it's white and it gets
On the
sunburned.
ears.
God.
Yeah.
I like that. So you can only go on holiday somewhere where there's a train that goes there.
Or you can go in the car.
A car, fine. That's great. And with other countries like a lot of visits to the Maldives for you personally.
Oh, on my own.
These
Yeah.
are national security trips. We need to assess, potential locations for different bases. We'll sort of throw in the odd trip to the Ascension Islands so the public's sort of taken off the trail and, get the idea it really is. So we can go Ascension Islands, Falkland Islands, and then longer in the Maldives.
Yeah. Is there any countries that have tried to do this before? Is there any policy where it's been like you should holiday only where you live? Russia have done it by accident.
Yeah.
But, the rest of the
I think
world.
during COVID, we obviously had that as well, where staycations were very, very much encouraged because you couldn't get a flight. I'll have a quick Google.
Yeah, you have a little look. Look, I like this, I guess it's just, if you've got kids, holidays are hard. Like, they're not really holidays anymore,
Well,
are
they're
they?
not holidays. So you might as well just put them in the car.
Yeah. And when you go to Pembrokeshire, is there family as well you can pawn them off on for a little bit?
100%.
Lovely.
Never go on holiday without parents or parents-in-law.
Really?
Yeah.
If
you go without a support system, it is not a holiday.
We had our first Christmas with like all of the nieces and nephews at ours this year, and oh my God, any time that we started to interact with them, my brother and sister-in-law would just get their phones out and they're like, thank God, some phone time. You have them for 10 minutes. We just want to stare at our phones because we never get to.
And the other thing we should ban is people being snobby about parents who are giving their kids iPads or phones.
Okay, cool.
Those are people who are out of touch. And if you gave them half an hour with a 3-year-old, they'd soon be giving them their phone.
It's just easier, isn't it?
It's just easier.
Yeah. Okay, that we can put that in education as well. We can have a word with the education department, iPads or phones. Lovely. Look, I think this is great. I think it'll be good for the UK economy, the billions, and also it'll give us better relations with other countries because we're not sending Brits abroad.
Yeah.
But
and
also,
that's
sorry
when
to
we
throw a
let
spanner in the
ourselves
works here. Domestic tourism is already booming. So according
Really?
to the United Nations, in OECD countries, domestic tourism accounts for 75% of total tourism expenditure. So
Really?
already doing well.
I had no idea.
We can claim the credit for it now. It's doing well. We can sort of boost it a little bit with your
Lovely.
policy, and we can crack on.
Well, look, I think that's great. So, lots of trips to the Maldives for you. No more Brits abroad. So every country will now start to like us. Spain finally will come into the fold.
Yeah, and they don't need then to have like those pubs where they offer Sunday lunch.
I know.
Who has a Sunday lunch in 38-degree weather?
British
Nobody.
people. Insane British people.
Finished off with a bit of karaoke. No.
I went to Benidorm in June with my dad and his friends, and
Okay.
it is like it's awful. Like you see the locals. Like
Is it like the
Spanish-
TV show?
It's the TV show barely scrapes the surface.
Oh, wow.
Imagine the TV show, but you see more genitals. That's basically what it is. It's awful, Benidorm. Sometimes they're not even in a Sticky Vicky show. It's because someone sat in their shorts and they're hanging out of it. It's disgusting. But basically, you see the locals, like you see the occasional Spanish person in a hotel, and you're like, God, your life would be so much better if British people didn't come here.
Yeah.
So we're fixing a lot of problems I think we have in international relations.
In fact, well, this is how we can fix because relations with us and the Spanish have been tense over Gibraltar. This is the way we sort it out. We just say, right, British people who want a Spanish holiday go to Gibraltar. We'll extract Benidorm into Gibraltar.
Yeah.
The
Maybe-
Spanish will be happy, and only if they renounce all territorial claims to Gibraltar, then we're sorted.
I know it's not part of, but maybe we should throw people a bone. We'll annex Benidorm.
Yeah.
So we have Benidorm. We're going to
Okay,
invade.
so that's just one place
One
where
bit,
you can have a British,
if you're desperate.
Spanish holiday.
Yeah. But it's just British
But the
people.
rest of us, if we go into France or Spain, you'll have a French or a Spanish holiday.
Yeah. You just have a normal one, but you can have a British one. But mostly, if you got to get there by car, you have to drive to Spain if you're going to go.
And men aren't allowed to wear vests.
Okay, no vests.
Because that is not a good look. And that's just doing everybody a favour. Nobody needs to see an upper arm.
Has your husband ever worn a vest when you first got together?
Once.
And then he was told.
Once. I was like, Charlie, you remove that and you put it directly in the bin. He was like, what's wrong? And they don't even call them vests in New Zealand. They call them something else. Singlet.
Yeah.
Singlet? It sounds like something you'd put on a bed. No.
If you want to be single, wear your singlet. That's what you should have said to him.
Singlets for singles.
Okay, well, that's a slightly different... I'm not sure which department we can squeeze that into, but that's absolutely fine. We'll make it work.
I think foreign affairs.
Look, absolutely. I think we've got loads to be getting on with here.
Okay.
So we're going to set up our Department of Hospitality vibes, where there's an 11 p.m. hard cut-off for any dinner party, no more granulated coffee, and every coffee shop has a dog's welcome and a child's welcome sign so you can work out exactly where you're going, and pubs as well. And then we're going to move on to culture, media and sport, theatre rules in the stadiums.
Ideal.
Love that. 2 to 4 glasses of wine. But we got to apologise to Gabby Logan for it. Maybe she could be your sports minister.
She'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And she's got great outfits.
There isn't, you know what? I find that really awful in politics, that the men dress dreadfully. There needs to be, you can sort that out. You get rid
It's
of
called
vests.
showbiz for ugly people for a reason.
Exactly. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
In food and rural affairs, dog poo banned.
Yeah.
Dog poo, leaving your dog's poo, you get your nose rubbed in it if you
get
leave
your
any dog
nose
poo
rubbed,
anywhere.
yeah, rubbed in it.
And then the Foreign Office, all holidays are banned that you fly to. You can only get there by car and train. Benidorm is being annexed as an official UK territory, and you're going to go to the Maldives 4 times a year for political trips.
Yeah, to keep relationships good.
So that's it. I think there are good policies. You can get on with that, can't you, Lauren?
Yeah, definitely.
Start
We'll
selling that
crack
to the
on,
public.
we'll do it, get the slogan sorted.
Now, there is one thing I want to ask, and this is to help more English people than Welsh people.
Okay.
That town in Wales.
Yeah.
Can you say the name?
Llanfair Pwllgwyngyll Godrebych Wins... No, I've done it wrong. Let me do it again. Llanfair Windrobych... Llanfair Windrobych Llandysylio Gogwch... No, I can't. No. It's longer than that. Let's have a look.
You have a look. Yeah, if you can read it, that would be amazing.
Llanfair Pwllgwyngyll Gogerich Windrobych Llandysylio Gogwch.
Lovely.
There you are.
Beautiful. I think it needs
Is
to be
it
named.
shortened in
So,
Welsh?
shall I just tell you something?
Yeah.
This is going to help so many people out. So, most people that live near this place call it either Llanfair,
Yeah.
which is, that's all right, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's fine.
Or Llanfair PG. So, all these people who are putting themselves through it to try and say it,
No one
actually does it.
there.
Nobody
well,
does.
let's spread that then, because I was going to ask. English people
Spread
struggle
that.
with that. We're going to try and make it easier now
Yeah.
that we have a Welsh premier.
Yeah.
Is Alex the first Welsh Prime Minister?
No, I believe Jim Callaghan was.
Oh, yeah, check that and we'll put that in. That's quite interesting.
definitely.
David Lloyd George, obviously, was the
David
first
Lloyd
and only
George.
Welshman. Callaghan, I think, represented a Welsh seat.
Oh, so you
Okay.
are now the second Welsh
I'd
Prime
be the
Minister.
first female.
Welsh
Prime
Minister.
Minister.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've only had 2 female Prime Ministers anyway, haven't we? Because we ignored that third one.
Oh, well, I mean, it was literally blink and you miss it.
Thank you so much, Prime Minister. We're going to get on with that. If you want to see what Alex is up to, you can check out The One Show on BBC One weeknights from 7.
Thank you very much.